Have you ever wondered why your phone or your laptop just seems to slow down and become useless after only a couple of years? Well, today, we're going to pull back the curtain on the hidden world of digital waste. And we're going to explore a really revolutionary idea that could completely change how we build software, forever. We're going to connect the dots between a highly respected German eco-label and a brand new programming philosophy that promises a much more sustainable digital future for all of us.
You know, to really get what's at stake here, let's start with this really powerful question from Valeri Rkitin, who founded the Eco-Programming Alliance. This one metaphor, it just perfectly captures the core challenge facing the entire software industry today.
So think of it like this. The mold is all the surface-level stuff we're always fighting in software, right? Bugs, security patches, slow performance. But the dampness, well, that's the real villain of the story. It's the bad architectural decisions, the flawed ways of thinking that we build our software on. It's what creates the perfect breeding ground for that mold to just keep growing back no matter how many times we try to scrub it away.
All right, so here's our game plan. First, we're going to unpack the huge problem of digital waste. Then, we'll dive into a little mystery, the lost algorithm mystery. Sounds intriguing, right? After that, we'll introduce a whole new philosophy for programming that could really change the game. We'll see how this idea actually stacks up against a super tough real-world standard. And finally, we'll talk about what it really means to build a lasting digital legacy instead of just more digital junk.
Okay, our journey starts with a pretty tough reality check. The way we currently build software has a name: software-driven obsolescence. We're essentially designing programs that are built to be thrown away whether we mean to or not. And that's fueling a massive crisis of both digital and, you guessed it, physical electronic waste. And this slide just lays it out so clearly. We have become absolute experts at fighting the mold. I mean, we have whole industries built around patching bugs, plugging security holes, and squeezing out a little more performance. But we almost never, ever address the dampness, that fundamental way we construct our software that basically guarantees it will fall apart down the line. So, where is all this dampness coming from? Well, to figure that out, we've got to solve a little mystery. And believe it or not, it doesn't start with a line of code. It starts with a question that sounds like it belongs in a philosophy class.
I know. What does a bagel have to do with software? But just stick with me here. The answer to this deceptively simple question reveals a really deep flaw in how most modern software is written. I mean, think about it. The whole is the entire point of the bagel. It defines it. But where is it really?
And here is the big reveal. The whole, that's your algorithm. It's the core logic, the secret sauce of your program. The bagel is all the code wrapped around it. And the problem is, most software today is what the Eco-Programming Alliance calls a bagel program. The most critical part, the algorithm, is completely lost, tangled up in a messy web of code. It makes it practically impossible to maintain or change it later without a ton of time, effort, and money.
So what's the fix? Well, it's not a simple patch. It's a complete shift in how we think. We have to stop making these messy bagels and start creating what they call Muffin programs, where the algorithm is front and center, the absolute star of the show.
This chart really nails the difference. Traditional green software is all about making code run using less energy. That's fine, but it's still just fighting the mold. Eco-Methodological sustainability, or EMS, is totally different. It focuses on the entire life cycle of the software. It goes after the dampness. The goal isn't just a bit more efficiency, it's about building systems that are durable, adaptable, and can actually last for decades.
And the practical tool that makes this possible is called Variant-Oriented Programming, or VAOP. It's a way of building software designed specifically to keep that core logic, the algorithm, totally separate, totally clear, and easy to change. It's no longer buried in thousands of lines of code. It's written in its own simple script, right out in the open where anyone, not just the original programmers, can understand it and update it.
Now, this is not just some cool idea on a whiteboard. Let's see how this algorithm-first approach stands up to the incredibly tough, real-world standards of one of the most respected eco-labels on the planet.
Okay, so what does Germany's Blue Angel certificate actually require? Well, to get their stamp of approval, your software has to extend the life of hardware, meaning it has to run on devices that are at least 5 years old. It has to give users more control through modular design. And you have to promise at least 5 years of support. I mean, these are seriously high standards to meet.
And this is where it all just clicks into place. It's a perfect match. You see a direct, one-to-one line between the principles of VAOP and the demands of the Blue Angel. Separating the algorithm from the code? That makes long-term support a breeze.
Its natural adaptability? That's how you get backward compatibility. And its modular design? That's exactly what Blue Angel is asking for. It's a system that's literally designed from day one to last.
So let's just zoom out for a second and look at the bigger picture here. This is about so much more than a clever coding technique or earning some fancy certificate. This is about the kind of digital world we want to live in.
This is the core belief of eco-programming. It basically says that the only truly sustainable software, the only software that isn't actively making our planet's problems worse, is software that is built from the ground up to be adaptable. Software that can change as our needs change, not just get tossed out and replaced. This is how we stop filling up digital landfills and actually start building a better future.
So I'll leave you with this challenge. It's a challenge for every single person who designs, builds, or manages technology. Take a good hard look at what you're doing and ask yourself, are you just painting over the mold, or are you finally ready to fix the dampness? Are you creating disposable products that are part of the problem, or are you building a digital future that's meant to last? The choice and the responsibility is ours.